Hello, hello, hello. Y'all come in. Go ahead and say hey in the comments. All right, there we go. Hey guys. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, I can see the comments over there. Hey everyone coming in on Instagram. We're waiting for people to come on in on Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and share this out. Tonight is a late night. I'm going to talk about six-figure success secrets. So I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I did to move past the six-figure mark in my author speaking coaching business. And hey, one coach love, which one did you get? So I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I worked through and some of the shifts that I made to grow past six figures in my author speaking coaching business. Because as we know, success with any goal, it doesn't start with the actual, business strategy or anything like that. It starts internally. I'm going to see if I can change this over here because I'm looking at there we go. I'm looking at my computer and my phone, so I'm going back and forth. So make sure that you have some paper. Make sure that you have pen tonight. I'm about to share this out. If you're on Facebook tuning in tonight, go ahead and say hey, hey, Kamisha. All right, go ahead and say hey. I can see your comments on Facebook. I can see your comments tonight on Instagram. I couldn't see them last night, but I definitely can see them tonight. So I'm just trying to get all my text set up. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, just go ahead and say yes. And y'all can see, like, I got a new computer, so I had to plug it up in the outlet, but I'm going to change my desk back around so you can see my, because I like my book wall behind me or whatnot. What is going on now? Come on. All right. We're about to get started. Y'all can hear me on Instagram. You can hear me on Facebook. Hey, Keisha Nicole on Facebook. All right, y'all. Facebook is tripping. Go ahead and get your sips of water. I'm just trying to log in on my other device. Okay. I'm just trying to log in on my other device. Guys, give me a second. There we go. If you're on Instagram, give me 1 second. It takes so much to run all of this, but I'm looking forward to the day. I'm looking forward to the what? Password incorrectly? No. All right, we're going to try one more time. Okay. All right, we're about to get started because I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. I know that you all are um, waiting on me patiently, and so I'm not going to spend too much more time on this, trying to get this together. 702. All right. So, oh, finally, and goodness. All right. Here we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so tonight, I appreciate y'all and your patience tonight. All right, so we're going to talk about six-figure success secrets. And with that, I'm going to be sharing some of the shifts that I had to make to move past the six-figure mark in my author speaking coaching business. So if you're on Instagram, if you know somebody who needs this, go ahead and just click the little airplane button down by the chat box and just share this to their inbox. If you are on Facebook, just hit the share button and share this out to your profile. So first and foremost, thank you all for joining me this evening. If you are new to me, see if can I get that in the light a little bit better? If you are new to me, my name is Jasmine Womack, and I help corporate professionals and small business owners leverage their expertise by writing, publishing, and launching a high quality nonfiction book. Okay, nonfiction. If you don't know what nonfiction is, definitely go and Google it, okay? And then I teach you how to actually use your book to grow a high-end author speaking coaching business, all right? Hi, Rosalind on Facebook. So first and foremost, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your patience as I work to get all of my tech set up. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So if you never heard my story before, I was a middle school language arts teacher for 12 years. I taught eighth grade for about 6 or 7 years. I taught sixth grade for about 3 years. And then I taught seventh grade for 2 years. I wrote my book, I started writing my book my 10th year teaching. And at that time, I also had a master's. I had obtained my master's in curriculum and instruction, and I was department chair, team lead, writing coach for the school, all that good stuff, right? But I had a plan. I said, I'm gonna give myself 3 years because I actually left and I went to a new school district. And so I said, I'm gonna give myself 3 years. I said, I'm gonna give myself 3 years to get out of the classroom. Either I'm going to move up in the ranks in regards to administration with actually becoming, because my goal was becoming an academic coach, because I didn't want the responsibilities of principal and assistant principal having to be up there on the weekends and be at the athletic events and all of that. So I said, either I'm going to move up to an academic coach, or my business is going to take off. And at the time, I had my master's, and I had just finished up my specialist degree, where I obtained a specialist in educational leadership. So I literally gave myself 3 years. And from the time that I gave myself that deadline, I was able to not only to meet my match my salary, but exceed it, and then hit 5-figure months repeatedly, 3 months after I left my job. I was able to do that in 2 years after I actually set the goal in my mind. Hi, Kibway. So I want to share with you, and that was when I started. That was, around the time when I actually left when I left my job. This was about 3 years ago. So there were some shifts that I had to make to go from employee to entrepreneur. And even now, there are some shifts that I'm making to go from entrepreneur to CEO, right? So along each stage of my business, every time I set a new income goal, every time I set a new goal to obtain in my business, or even in my personal life, my personal growth and development, there are shifts that I had to make. Every time I hit a goal, I'm like, okay, I'm here, but what's the next goal? And every time I went after another goal, there were shifts I had to make. So like, for instance, my first goal, and I talked about this yesterday, my first goal was to match my revenue. I wanted to match my salary. Okay. So the amount that I was making on my job, I wanted to make that in my business. Once I met that and exceeded that, doubled that, I was like, okay, well, my goal is to make consistent 5-figure months. The minimum was $10,000 per month. There had to be a shift that took place to get me from the 5,000-6,000 a month to making it 10,000 a month. And so when I got to 10,000 a month, it's not that wasn't enough. It was just that I had to start actually growing my team, because I couldn't be a one-woman show. I couldn't produce and fulfill the demand if I was the only one doing everything, if I was the only one creating content, if I was trying to handle all of the back end of the business, if I was trying to do the accounting and handle customer service and still coach and run the business and grow the business, I knew that I couldn't do everything myself. And so in order for me to actually start building a team, expanding the team, hiring, getting different tools to help me actually grow and expand, right? I knew that I actually needed to generate more revenue so that I could keep the revenue that I wanted to make, but yet still be able to put funds towards growing the business, and scaling the business, and even investing in my own continued personal and professional development in the form of coaching. And my coaches are not cheap at all. So once I got to 10 grand a month and I saw the need, to uh, grow in certain areas of my business, I'm like, okay, well, this is my next revenue goal. And this is going to cover this, this, and this. Is still going to allow me to do X, Y, and Z. There were some shifts that I had to make. All right. There were some shifts that I had to make in order to get from where I was to where I needed to be. There are always going to be consistent shifts that you have to make every time you go up to another level. High procurement queen, Kidboy, you say it's impossible. It's definitely not impossible. It's definitely possible. Alberta, you going to sleep? You said good night, so I guess you're gonna catch the replay. So I'm gonna share some of the shifts that I made to, as I elevated in each level of my business. So before we actually begin, if you're trying to figure out the type of book that you need to write in order to grow your career and or your brand or business, make sure that you take the quiz at www.startmybookquiz.com. All right. And if you are ready to grow in your careers and as a professional author, and if you're ready to grow if you've written a book and you're trying to figure out how to actually grow and scale it, definitely make sure that you sign up for my event. It's next Friday, December 15th. I'm talking about December. Y'all know it's late because I'm normally sleepy this time. January 15th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. You can go to jasminewomack.com/PP Live, published and paid live. We're going to break down mindset, messaging. Who is it? Hey, Tamasha, we're going to break down mindset, messaging, marketing, and monetization. The 4 components that you need in order to build and grow a sustainable and scalable book author and coaching business. Okay, so let's jump into it. I'm going to share 4 keys with you tonight. All right, Kidboy, you signed up? Great. So I'm going to share 4 shifts with you tonight that I had to make in order to elevate. So number 1, the first thing I had to do was let go of people's opinions. And y'all, don't mind my bookshelf back there. I got my makeup. Well, yeah, my makeup stuff is over there. I got my running. Don't mind my bookshelf, okay? I had to let go of people's opinions. You have to understand that when you have goals that you're trying to reach, you're going to have to show up in a way that's different than you've likely shown up before. Okay? You're going to have to show up differently. You might even, you're going to start to shift. Your internal is going to start to shift. People are going to say things. Oh, you changed. You're not the same. People are going to, make judgments, and they're going to form opinions. You honestly got to have an I don't care attitude. You have to have an I don't care attitude. You definitely have to have an I don't care attitude. You have to let go of people's opinions. You got to let go of what you think people are going to think. Those of you all who are scared of doing things, you're scared of putting yourself out there, you're scared of going live, you're going to have to dive deep into the real reason behind why you're scared. Is it that you fear rejection? Is it that somebody said something to you years ago that took root within your mind, your spirit, and your soul, and now you allow that one person's comment to make you question everything that you do and say? What is it? Why are you scared of showing up? Why are you scared of putting yourself out there? What is it that's really holding you back from fulfilling your true, authentic potential? You've got to let go of people's opinions, and you have to really step into a space where You just really don't care about what people say, what people think. When I first started on this journey, live streaming was brand new. I know this is kind of hard to believe, right? Because we've had live streaming capabilities for about 6 years now. But when I first started on this journey, live streaming was new. And I knew that I had people who followed me that I worked with, people who followed me that I went to college with. The person from college was different from the person that I was becoming. It was. Even though I worked with, even though I was an educator by day and I worked with people every single day, the person that I was becoming was changing. I was changing because I had goals that I was going after. And I knew that it was going to require me to show up differently if I wanted to do more than just have a book and publish it on Amazon. I knew that I was going to have to actually show up differently if I wanted to actually build a credible brand. I knew that I was going to have to actually show up differently if I wanted to generate the type of income and revenue that was going to allow me to leave my job after working there for 12 years and obtaining 3 degrees. I knew that I was going to have to show up differently. And the person that I was becoming, the person that I was going to have to show up as, was different than the person that people had come to know over the years. So what happened? People would make comments, people are, and they wouldn't make them to me, but they would just make really sly, passive aggressive comments that is about you, but they won't tell it to you to your face. They'll just put it in a little post, but it's directed towards you. You know what I'm saying? You have to get to the point where you don't care about those people because number one, they're not putting money in your bank account. Number two, they're not helping you to accomplish your goals. And I would tell you this, 90% of the people who were bad mouthing me and talking about me just because I was doing something different back then, they're still in the same space, doing the same thing, complaining about the same stuff, while my life has completely changed. You literally have to let go of people's opinions. I even had people that I was friends with, people who were doing great in their businesses while I was starting off, and then they fell off and I kept going, and they were like, I had somebody say this to me. She was like, I don't get it, because I was doing good and I was ahead of you, but how you just gonna come in now you doing better than me? And she threw me, I was trying to help her and stuff. She threw me major shade and we stopped being friends because of it. You got to let go of people's opinions. You have to get to the point where you really don't care. You don't care. Are y'all with me, Facebook? Are you with me, Instagram? Let me know you're with me. Drop a comment and emoji below. Okay? You got to let go of what people are going to think about you. You have to let go of the fears. Ask yourself this question. What would you do and how would you show up if you were not scared? What would you do differently? And how would you show up if you didn't care what people thought about you? If you didn't think that somebody was going to say something negative, and if you didn't think that you would get a no, if you didn't think that someone would tell you no, how would you go after your goal? How would you show up? That's the way that you need to show up every day. Whether or not somebody's going to say something negative, whether or not somebody's going to say no, whether or not somebody's going to give you their opinion that you can't cash at the bank. Okay? You still have, however that is, however you would show up, even if no was not an answer, even if rejection was not your reality, that's how you should be showing up every single day, regardless of what anybody says, and regardless of what anybody does, or regardless of what you think they're going to do, because you can't cash their opinions at the bank. A lot of you guys say that you want to write your book because you want to help somebody else overcome a certain space where you were in your life. A lot of you guys, you fill out my application, you say that you want to start your coaching business, you want to do this and that. How are you going to help somebody else when you're still allowing yourself to be literally trapped in the jail of other people's opinions? You got to keep it moving. Like you said, procurement queen, on to the next. Life goes on. What's the worst thing that can happen if somebody talk about you? What's the worst thing that can happen if somebody says something about you showing up live? What's the worst thing that can happen if somebody got something to say because you're doing something different and because you're going after your goals? What's the worst thing that can happen? Think about it. So literally, why are you literally saying, I'm too scared to do it? All right, so you have to let go of people's opinions. And just to recap, right now we're talking about six-figure success secrets. So I'm sharing some of the shifts that I had to make to grow past the six-figure mark. Because as you know, growth does not start monetarily. Growth does not start financially. It doesn't start with business strategy. Because if business strategy was all you needed to accomplish your goals, then everybody would accomplish their goals, right? Because the strategies are out there. You got people like me showing up, giving you strategies. You can go YouTube, university, Google, all of that. If strategies were the things that help people actually get to the goals, you already be there because the strategies are there. But as we can see and as we can tell, it takes a lot more than strategy to reach your goals in your life and in your business. Okay, let's keep it clean. I appreciate your commentary, but let's definitely keep it clean in the comments. I'm a lady. I like clean language. I'm a lady. I like clean language. Okay. The second thing that you have to do, the second shift that you have to make, is that you have to develop courage and belief in yourself. Now, this sounds cliche, right? It sounds cliche. Thank you, CK. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate you. You have to develop courage and belief in yourself. Now, I know that this sounds basic. I know this probably sounds cliche. But this gets real in the field. And it especially hits home when you start having people that you think will support you and you realize that they really don't. This can be friends that you've been friends with for years. This can be family members. You have to develop the courage to go after it, and you have to develop the belief in yourself. You have to believe in yourself enough, even when you are the only person who sees the vision. Even when you are the only person that believes it can happen. Even when you have family, even when you have friends, even when you have spouses, partners, whoever telling you it's not going to happen, or telling you that your dream or your goal is stupid, telling you that you just need to stick to what you're doing because what you're trying to do is a pipe dream. You have to believe in yourself and in the vision that God has placed within you, even when you are the only one who believes it. And I'm telling you this from experience. Developing courage and believing in yourself also means that you have to be strong enough to not develop imposter syndrome. You have to believe in yourself, in your knowledge, in your expertise, and in your craft enough to remember that if somebody else can do it, you can do it too. And you don't have to look at anybody else or do it the way that they do it to obtain success. You can do it the way that you do it. You can be yourself. You don't have to be like anybody else. Okay? There are people out here. It's just like if you take two books on the same topic, you're going to get some people who like one book and some people who like the other book. Right? Right. Why? Because the person's voice is speaking to them differently. They're connecting with their experiences differently. Okay? You can't connect to and with the people who are meant for you to connect with so that you can impart the seed that's going to change their life if you're too busy trying to be like, look like, and sound like someone else. So when you find yourself falling in the trap of imposter syndrome, that means that you need to be honest with yourself. You need to forgive yourself for not believing in yourself enough. And you need to put them on mute and stop looking at them. Whether that means unfollowing them, whether that means just muting their profile so that their posts don't show up. Because what you don't want is for your voice and for your creativity to be muffled because you're too busy, because your voice is being tainted by somebody else's, because you're taking in someone else's content so much and it's filtering out you and your personality and your voice. This sounds easy, but it's an internal job. And it's the internal job of courage, of developing courage and confidence. It's the internal job of developing courage in your voice, confidence in your message, and confidence that you have space in the marketplace as well. Confidence that there's enough space for you to create your own table instead of just depending on someone else's table or trying to, eat at the table that somebody else has created. This is where you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. Okay? And also, with developing courage, confidence, and self-belief, you're going to lose some friends on the way. Some relationships that you've had are not going to make it. It's just a fact. I got people that I was friends with for 20 years. The conversations changed. Soon enough, we didn't really have anything in common. They stopped talking to me. I would call them. They started dodging my phone calls and didn't have the courage to tell me that how they felt. But you know how your spidey senses go off and you can just kind of, especially when you've known somebody for a while and you can just kind of pick it up and you already know, but you know what they're saying, but they don't have the courage to say it. I'm talking about things I'm doing with my family and they still talking about people that we went to college with and what they doing, and they like, I don't care nothing about what the folks doing. That ain't none of my business. How was that? How was me knowing their business helping me? The conversations changed. I don't care about hearing the gossip. I'm trying to accomplish some goals. You follow me? You're going to lose some friends along the way. It's just a fact of life. Some friendships you'll be able to maintain, but you also have to prepare yourself for the ones that you're going to lose. Not looking for reasons to lose them, but I think that sometimes people naturally grow apart. And also know, even when it comes to your family, stop telling them all your business. Because everybody's not going to relate. And you can tell the wrong person your idea, and they say one thing that takes root, and it just starts like it's like that one thing that they said will start planting it'll like plant a seed that starts erupting, like spreading like a virus in your mind and in your mind and in your spirit. You can't tell everybody everything. It's not for everybody. Some visions are to be held until an appointed time. It just is. And even some family, you can involve them to a certain level, because some family members are not going to respect you past who they know you as. They're just not. They're just not. Like my mom is always going to see me as her little girl. Like she knows about my business, but when I try to talk to her about some business stuff, she's like, well, maybe you can do that. I'm like, no, it's not gonna work. So like her being nice and her mixing up the fact that I'm her daughter, she can't relate to me or respect me as the CEO of a business and a company, and me having to make CEO decisions. Point blank, period. I love my mom. I know that it's probably going to stay this way until she actually sees me in the role, until she has an opportunity to come see me speak at a convention. Until she has the opportunity to see with her eyes, to see me in action, her perception isn't going to change. Because all she knows is that I work at home every day. She doesn't know anything else. I had some aunts who came and helped me cater. They catered one of my events, and they saw me in action, and their perspectives changed immediately. So you can involve people to a certain level, but you also have to understand that when people have grown up with you or they spent years with you, sometimes they're not going to see you past a certain level. So some of the conversations that you have with them have to be monitored, and they have to be limited, because they're going to be giving you advice, or they're going to be giving you their opinion based on who they know you as, and not based on who you are, if that makes sense. Okay, let me go ahead and try to wrap this up. Okay, six-figure success secret number 3. I don't know if y'all gonna like this one. One of the shifts that I had to make, I had to stop trying to free $99 my way, and I had to stop trying to $49 my way and stuff. I knew that even with that, there were some things people weren't telling me. And I knew that I needed to really get the scoop on how to make certain things happen. I knew that there were connections that I needed, and I knew that there was inside information I needed. There was a deeper level of strategy that I needed. And I realized that in order to make certain connections, I was either going to have to serve my way into the room or pay my way into the room. Serving your way into a room will only work so far, because people who are busy, they don't have time to go out to coffee so you can pick their brain. They don't have time. Or really the desire. So when you want to get around somebody, like my coach now has made $1 million in the past 3 months. When you want to get around people who are operating on a level that's 2, 5, or 10 times where you are, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to pay to get in the room to connect with those type of people. It's just a fact of the matter. There's an investment that has to be made for an exchange of for an exchange of a certain level of information. So if you're trying to get the $200,000 per year in your business, not from your job, how much are you willing to pay to learn that, so that you don't spend 10 years trying to figure it out? How much work are you willing to put in? Because you can pay all day. Somebody can give you a strategy, but if you don't do the work, it's not going to happen. So yes, there's an investment that you have to make financially, and there's an investment in terms of energy and effort. And I was talking to my boot campers about this the other day. There's a such thing as attention and intention. Some coaches offer payment plans, Kibwe, some don't. I was talking to my friend today. She was like, oh my gosh, I hate payment plans. She was like, I understand that everybody does not have certain amounts of money, but she said, I don't like payment plans. So she's trying to partner with a company that will pay where if you need a payment plan, you can work that out with them, but she's still able to get her money up front. So if you default on your payments, even after you have gotten the information, she's not impacted by it. Me, I don't mind flex plans. And to be honest with you, I attract and I vet my clients very, very thoroughly. So I really don't have issues when it comes to people operating in integrity and paying for what they, fulfilling the terms of their coaching agreements. I love the clients that I work with, and I'm very lucky that I'm very blessed to attract a very high caliber client. My clients, they do their work, and I don't have that issue. I was telling my friend, I was like, I don't have an issue with payment plans. I said this, out of all in 2020, I had one person that defaulted. One out of the whole entire year. I didn't have any issues with any of my clients. But part of that is because I vet my clients. Everybody can't work with me. You're going to get interviewed. We're going to ask you a ton of questions. I'm looking over your application, and then I'm praying over it too. If I get an inkling of disruption in my spirit, I'm going to downsell you and send you into my self-study program. Point blank period. I don't work with everybody. That's why there's a very high caliber of people in my programs, and they have integrity. But I'm going to say this, Kibwe, and I'm glad that you asked about payment plans. At the level that you want people to invest in you, you have to be willing to invest, right? So I knew that when I wanted people to start paying me $10,000 in full, I needed to make a $10,000 in full investment. I did it. When I made my first 5-figure investment into a coach, paid in full, less than a week later, somebody enrolled in my program and paid me 5 figures in full. $10,000 in full. It's energy. I never charge anything that I have not personally invested. I don't. But at the same level that you want people to invest in you and work with you, you have to be willing to invest in yourself. This is why I don't understand people who say they want to write books and travel the world speaking and coaching on a high level. They want to attract high-end coaching clients. They want to make thousands of dollars speaking, but they don't even want to invest to get it done. They're literally looking for the cheapest way out. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can't expect anybody to invest in you if you don't invest in you. And I will tell you this, the level, you definitely have to vet people. Because I'm not just going to sit here and say, just because you invest at a high level means that you're going to get that. Not with me, yes. My students will tell you, I give you every single thing. My people don't have to figure nothing out. I give them the whole entire funnels, strategy, copy, everything they need. It's literally plug and play. I give my people systems. But there are some people out here who do charge premium price, or there are some people out here who do charge high ticket who don't, they just talk a good game, but they don't have it to back it up with. That's why you got to look for testimonials. Current testimonials, not the same testimonials over and over again. That's why you really got to pay attention to what people are talking about. And you got to pray. You got to pray before you make any type of investment. I believe in the power of prayer. And I believe that if you ask God to reveal something to you and show you, if something is for you or not, he will. It might be uncomfortable. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to feel good. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It definitely might be a challenge. It might be a stretch. It may definitely stretch you outside of your comfort zone. But just because something is different or something that you're not used to, or it's a stretch for you, it does not mean that you're not meant to do it. And I believe that it's just my personal opinion that, especially when it comes to believers who feel like they have a message that God has put inside of them to share. For some reason, you think that it's going to be free, or you think it's going to be easy. No, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard as heck. It really is. And oftentimes it's not doing the work that's hard. It's getting out of your head. It's, like I said, making those shifts, those mindset shifts, those emotional shifts, because you're going to have to destroy thought patterns. You're going to have to destroy belief systems. You're going to have to destroy old habits, and you're going to have to develop new ones. You're going to have to develop a new level of discipline, confidence, belief. There are new life systems that you are going to have to develop in order to elevate to the next level of life, and in your life and in your business. And that's the difficult part. The difficult part isn't actually doing it. It's not the implementation of the strategies. It's what is it going to take for you to actually implement it, and actually getting over yourself, getting over second guessing yourself and thinking about stuff too much. That's going to take some work on your behalf. And it's going to take a commitment. It's going to take dedication for you to say, you know what, I'm tired of being in this space. I'm ready for something new. And I'm willing to do what it's going to take. I'm willing to face myself. I'm willing to step into my next level of being. I'm willing to take the next step, even though it might be expensive or more expensive than I anticipated, even though it might be scary, even though I am going to have to stretch myself so I can show up in a different way to get some different results, even though I'm going to have to do some things I'm a little bit uncomfortable doing because I've never done it. That it's what's required. It's not the actual sitting down and doing stuff. Anybody can put together funnels. Anybody can take a strategy and write the book and put it out. People can do that. But what does it take to do it? What does it take to get your book and then stand up in front of a room of 200 people who don't know you? What does it even take to get yourself in that position? Those are the shifts that, you're going to have to make. And it's not always easy. I know it's getting late, guys. So yeah, you got to serve your way into rooms or pay. And if you're dealing with experienced people, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to pay your way into the room because folks are caught on to serving your way. You just want to be around so you can take some pictures and so that you can, mooch off of stuff and ask many questions, but you don't go do nothing with it. That's why there's a transformation with the transaction. Okay? So you want to get into certain rooms, connect with certain people, elevate your circle, learn certain levels of information. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to pay to get into those rooms. I mean, I go live every day, but the information I share on live is definitely not the information that I share in my coaching communities. It just is what it is. It's a different level of information for the people who pay for it and for the people who show up. All right? So let's talk about the 4 shifts you got to make to grow past the 6-figure mark. These are shifts that I had to make. And it starts internally. It starts mentally. It starts spiritually. It starts emotionally before you actually can see the physical manifestation of the seeds that you've planted. So number 1 is actually letting go of people's opinions. Number 2 is developing the courage and self-belief. And there's a lot within that. Okay. And 3 is paying to get into the rooms that you need to be in. All right. The 4th shift that I had to make was developing resilience. Resilience. This is resilience on a different level. What does it mean to be resilient? That means that you stick in there even when it's hard, even when you don't know how it's going to work out, even when you're showing up every single day and it doesn't look like anything is happening. You got to stick in there. You got to develop resilience. This means that you're doing what other people are not doing so that you can get the result that other people are not getting. This is what this means. This means that you might not be able to go out all the time. Sometimes you're going to have to sit in and work when others are not. Sometimes you might have to stay up when other people are asleep. I mean, it's just the truth. I remember a couple of years ago when I was building when I was like really building the foundation. And my son was little. He was like 1 year old. I had kids. I got small kids. So I was having to build my business after work, after I put the kids to sleep. So I know 9 to 11 every single night, that was my time to work on my business. 2 hours a night every single week. 2 hours per night, Monday through Thursday. That was what I had. I had 9 to 11, and I had a little bit of time, an hour in the morning. But I was tired because, of course, I get my kids up, get them ready for school, all that. I was taking them on the commute, dropping them off, and I was going to school to teach all day, get back into the car, do my commute, go pick everybody up, get home, cook dinner. Now we're doing dinner time. Now we're doing homework. We're doing bath time. Now we're doing bedtime. I was exhausted. So on the weekends, if somebody, if my family decides, hey, they trying to get together just to hang out or some kind of tailgate. I'm tired. I'm probably in the corner with my 1-year-old in my lap taking a nap. I remember I was at some family event. I forgot what it was. But everybody was chilling, sitting around, eating food. I was over in the corner with my son in my lap, and I fell asleep. And somebody there made a smart comment. Oh, you tired, huh? I'm like, yeah, I'm tired. I am. And I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with you, with what you thinking, because I'm over here in the corner taking a nap. Because I've been busting my behind all week, and it's none of your business. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to develop that resilience where you're doing the things that other people are doing or not doing so that you can get the results that they are not getting. Like, I made a commitment. Normally I'm asleep by now. I told you I go to bed early because I like to get up early. I like to get up at 4:00 in the morning. I'm an early bird. But I said, you know what, with the way schedules have been, my daughter's about to be back virtual learning until March. The only time I can probably come live is at night. So even though I would rather be in the bed, sleep right now, let me get my behind on here. And I got to do what needs to be done. Because I miss going live. I like coming on to chat with y'all, to talk to y'all. Everybody's on Clubhouse. I have a love-hate relationship with Clubhouse. I like video. I like being able to see your comments in real time. Clubhouse is just too much going on for me. You know, I'm like, I gotta get it done. It's 11:00 at night. We're about to start this late night series because I'm going live every night in January. Probably February too. You said you a night owl? See, I'm a morning bird. My husband's a night owl. I am an early bird. But that's all I have for y'all today. These are four shifts that I had to make to move past the 6-figure level in my business. And it was mindset. It was emotional. So if you are just now coming in, definitely take time to go and watch the replay. If you have not taken the quiz, you're trying to figure out what type of book you need to write to boost your brand and or career, make sure you go take the quiz at www.startmybookquiz.com. And for those of you all, you want to dive deeper into this information, I'm going to be teaching a 5-hour seminar next Friday, January 15th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. And if you register, you get a 5-day limited access to the replay. So I'll be hosting Publish and Pay Live. This is an event for aspiring and current authors who want to actually build a 6-figure brand and business around your book. So I'm going to be diving deep into mindset, messaging, marketing, and monetization. Okay? You can register at www.jasminewomack.com/pp live. It's for Published and Paid Live because it's a live virtual event. jasminewomack.com/pp live. Thanks, Sandy. Thanks for putting those links down there. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I'll do a little bit of Q&A. I got about 5 minutes. Dr. Camille, you registered? Woo! Looking forward to seeing you there. I know there's a good bit of y'all on tonight that have registered, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you. If you have a friend or you know somebody who needs this, definitely share it with them as well. It's the training is about halfway full. We have about 50 spaces remaining. Okay. You're welcome, Keisha, on Facebook. Reacher University, you're registered. Excellent. Looking forward to seeing you there. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. It's about halfway full. I'm capping it at 100. We have about 50 people. We have close to 50 people registered. Okay. Rosalind, you're registering tonight. Excellent. It's Sandy is on Instagram, but we're on Facebook. Let me see if I can type this in on Facebook real quick. I'll put it in the comments. There you go. All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. And that's it. We got 5 more minutes for Q&A. So if you have a question, If you're on Instagram, you can just put the question in the question, hit the question box below and put your question there. If you're on Facebook, pop your question in the comments. I'm going to do questions for 5 minutes. I haven't worked out today. I have a commitment to myself to work out every single day. And I haven't worked out today, so I'm going to do a 30-minute workout on my bike before I go to bed. So that's why I'm doing Q&A for 5 minutes. I don't see any questions coming through, so I'm assuming that everybody's good. Good to go. All right. Well, I was trying to give everybody a chance to type it in because I know sometimes, you know how typing can go. But nobody's put any questions in, so we're going to go ahead and close it out. Thank you all so much for tuning in with me. My name is Jasmine Womack, and I will catch you all later. Hope to see you in Published and Paid event next week. See you guys soon. Uh-oh.